The fact that this backlight has been showing this entire time. Ugh. And then my hair doesn't want to cooperate. Jesus Christ, help. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Titi and today I'll be showing you guys a quick and easy, detailed, beginner-friendly everyday makeup on acne-prone skin. Whether you're a beginner at makeup or have acne, if you're interested in this tutorial, then keep on watching. We are starting on a fresh face. As you can see, I have quite a few dark spots pretty much all over my face. So on both cheeks, all over my forehead, in between my brows, in my brows, on my chin. I have it going on my neck as well, which is like a new development. I'm not sure why I've been breaking out there lately, but if your skin looks anything like this or more moderate or even more severe, rest assured we can achieve a flawless base very quickly and very easily as beginners, even on acne prone skin. Step one, if you're acne prone or not, is to go in with primer. Being on tretinoin, I've been opting for more moisturizing primers on the bulk of my face and then more mattifying primers towards where my skin is the most oily prone on the center of my face. So on my cheeks, forehead, and chin, I'll be going in with Fenty Beauty's Soft Matte Pro Filtered Instant Retouch Primer and rub it in the way I would any moisturizer. Now towards the center of my face, I'll be going in with two different primers. One is the Milk Makeup, if I can read it, Pore Eclipse Mattifying Primer along with the YSL's Blotting Lotion. I like to take the teeny tiniest amount of the YSL blotting lotion because it's expensive. Also because a little goes a very long way, so you truly do not need a lot of this at all. But I do like to be a bit more generous with the Milk Mattifying Primer. Rub it against my fingers and then using it right on top of where I applied the YSL blotting lotion. But whenever I try to do my brows after I do my foundation or my concealer or just any step outside of priming, things just don't work out. So I like to go in with the Fenty Beauty Invisimatte, setting my eyebrows with powder. That way when I go to fill them in, my products aren't slipping and sliding all over a greasy face. So I'm not going to show you guys in detail in this video at least how I do my brows, but tips that I have is make sure that they are fully groomed, fully tweezed, fully waxed, whatever you like to do before you fill them in. The reason most people have difficulty doing the eyebrows, or the reason why people spend 20, 30, 40 freaking minutes doing the eyebrows alone, is because they don't do a proper job at first cleaning them up and shaping them up before filling them in. If your eyebrows are looking a little unruly or hairs are a little bit out of place or overgrown, pluck them, tweeze them, clean them up, and then go in with whatever products that you prefer to use on your eyebrows. I've been going in with Lottie London's Arch Rival Microfine Brow Pen. Now that your brows are filled in, the next step is optional, but I like to go in with an orange color corrector. Now if you have as many dark spots as I do, obviously you can't use it on your entire face, so I like to focus it on my darkest of dark spots. For me, that's a scarring on my nose and in between my brows, and what I like to use is the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Orange. This product for me has been tried and tested, tried and proven. I swear by this stuff. I love this stuff. I like to apply it directly onto the dark spots, but instead of blending it out immediately, we're going to allow it sit for a few minutes to get tacky and to also build up the coverage. In the meantime, with the Urban Decay Quickie Concealer in the shade 70WR, I'll be cleaning up my brows. I like to apply it on the back of my hand first, then with a thin flattened brush. I got this years ago off of Amazon, but I'll be sure to include a dupe down below. I'm going to clean up my brows by following the line that I created with my eyebrow pencil. When cleaning up your brows, don't go in with too much product. I like to pick up some of that product and then tap off the excess. And then with whatever is left on my brush is what I use to then clean up my brows. Making sure to take my time. Now that your color corrector is tacky, with a small precision brush, you're going to buff it out. So going in with this teeny tiny brush, I'm going to use this to buff out the corrector on my nose, starting off by buffing out the edges before working my way towards the center where the dark spot is located. And then going in with a bigger precision brush, I'm going to buff out the in-betweens of my eyebrows. To keep the corrector from budging while you apply and buff out your concealer and foundation over top, but to also further conceal those dark spots, you're going to go in with a pressed or loose powder that is either the same exact shade of your skin color or darker. This is the Sephora Micro Smooth Multitasking Bake face powder in the shade Espresso. With a powder puff, I'm going to pick up the product and tap it directly where I place that corrector. And if you're not looking for that added coverage, any setting powder, whether it be translucent or not, will get the job done. The ultimate goal is to set the corrector in place to keep it from budging. Going back in with the Invisimatte, I'm going to use it to set in between my brows. My lips are looking a little pale, so I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the Maybelline Lifter Plump Gloss to liven it up because it's giving casket ready right now. Moving on to foundation. Now when it comes to foundation, you want to apply it where you won't be going in with concealer. So typically I place my concealer on my chin, down the bridge of my nose, underneath my eyes, along with at the center of my forehead. Going in with CoverGirl's True Blend Matte Made Foundation in the shade D80. That was a little too much, so use less. Even when it comes to covering up hyperpigmentation, less is always more. Going in with a large buffing brush. This is Amy Colay's the Complexion brush. I'm going to buff this into my skin, focusing the product at the lower half of my face where I won't be applying any concealer. Now that your foundation is on and blended in, let's move on to the next and my favorite step, concealing. I am a firm believer that your concealer can single-handedly transform your entire makeup look. So if there's any part of this video that you really want to pay attention to, it is this one. So going in with one of my favorites, this is Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Chai. Start by applying it to your chin. And if you have this exact concealer, a little bit goes a very long way, so don't be heavy-handed. I'm also going to apply it right above the center of my brows, down the bridge of my nose, the tip of my nose. I'm also going to apply it underneath my eyes, focusing most of that product in my inner eye corner and applying the concealer in the shape of a triangle. Once you're done applying your concealer, you're going to allow it to sit for 3 to 5 minutes to get tacky. Just like the color corrector, this is to increase the coverage, but to also improve the longevity. Now with either water or setting spray, you're going to dampen your concealer brush, making sure to tap off the excess. I'm going to start by buffing out the concealer on my chin. I like to buff it in place, making sure to not bring it too far outward. And then with the excess product on my foundation brush, I'm going to buff out the edges. Done. Oh, and this is the Makeup Revolution Super Hold Misting Spray. Repeating that same step, spray the brush, tap off the excess. Moving on to my brows, I'm going to buff it in downward motions. So blending it in place, slightly bringing that product upwards, push down, bring it upwards, push down, bring it upwards, push down, and make sure you're doing it in light tapping motions. Bringing it down in between my brows before blending it straight down my nose. Simply tapping the brush and the product in place. Moving down to the tip of my nose. And then once again with the excess product on my foundation brush, I'm going to buff out the edges of the concealer. Voila. Once again, spray your brush, setting spray or water, tap off the excess. And this time I'm going to start by buffing out the edges of my under eye concealer. When blending out the concealer I placed on my nose, I'm going to bring it down into this divot and bring it over my lips. Further buffing out the edges, bringing it product slightly over my cheeks and out towards my temples. The product that remains directly underneath your eyes, you're simply going to tap it in place. You're not going to buff it, you're not going to move it around, you're just going to tap it in place, making sure to look up and buff out all those creases directly under your eye as well. I like to bring my concealer on my nose as well to help cover up the scarring, hence why I place color corrector there. But chances are you don't have the level of scarring that I do, so as long as you are keeping the concealer within this triangle right here and buffing it out within that same triangle, you're good. And to neutralize the darkness on my lid with the same concealer, I'm going to apply a small amount, a singular dot on each eyelid before buffing it out, bringing it towards the bridge of my nose, the very end of my eyelids, as well as up towards my eyebrows. Now when it comes to setting your face, the areas you set first are the ones that are most prone to creasing. That includes your under eye, your eyelids, and your forehead. Going in with Range Beauty's translucent setting powder in the shade Golden Light, along with a pointed fluffy brush. This one is by Patrick Ta. I'm going to apply the powder to the brush, tap off the excess, but immediately before blending you want to one last time buff out all those creases to ensure your base stays flawless. So I like to look up and set directly underneath my eyes first, closing my eyes and setting my lids before setting the portion of my forehead that I concealed, and then my chin. Now that your most prone to creasing areas have been set, take your time in setting the rest of your concealer. Now with a powder puff and the same setting powder, push the puff into the powder. Rub the powder on the back of your hand to evenly distribute the powder on the puff before double setting your under eyes. This is to further set and blur your concealer. So I like to put it directly underneath my eyes, but I also like to bring it down the sides of my nose as well, and also into this divot at the corner of my nose. And I like to use the shape of the powder puff to my advantage. So you can see that I'm using this edge to line it up on my nose before using the other side of the brush to angle it upwards and further set my under eyes. And because I'm so oily prone in my T-zone, I'm double set my forehead and my chin as well. You might be looking a little casket ready, but I promise in the end, it'll all come together. Now going in with either a translucent setting powder or a pressed powder that is the same color as your liquid foundation. With a fluffy brush and a light hand, I like to ever so gently tap the brush into the powder, tap off the excess, and then pounce it over my foundation. I'm going to use this to set my foundation and my foundation only. And this is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro 16-Hour Skin Perfecting Powder Foundation in the shade Deep 60 Cool, along with the Bare Minerals Full Flawless Face Brush. Also bringing it on my forehead, again where I placed my foundation. Moving on to powder bronzer, I'll be going in with Juvia's Place bronzer palette in the shade Deep Dark, but going in with a fluffy angled brush. I've had it for so long that I've completely wiped off the name of it. I'll be sure to include the name either in the description box or somewhere on the screen. I'm going to dip the brush in this lighter bronzer shade, tap off the excess, and I'm going to tap and focus the bronzer in and above the hollows of my cheeks, making sure to buff out the product in upward tapping motions. Before bringing the product onto my temples, I also like to bring the product up onto my forehead and once again onto those temples. And as far as how far in you bring your bronzer, the most I'll bring it in is slightly before my arch. Any closer and you're crouching into your concealer, which you don't want. When it comes to bronzing, the goal is to warm up your face while maintaining the brightness that you now have in the center triangle of your face. Going in with the same brush and bronzer, I'm going to use it to ever so gently bronze and snatch the nose. And this is as simple as moving the brush in up and downward motions, making sure to buff that bronzer in this divot right here and connecting it to your brows before going in with the powder puff to clean up those sides and sharpen up that bronzer. Moving on to powder blush, I like to go in with a flattened fluffy brush. This one is by e.l.f. and today I'll be making my own concoction. So first going in with the Giorgio Armani blush in the shade 61. What you're going to do is you're going to point out the corner of your eye and move your finger about 1 inch to 1.5 inches downward. Start by applying the blush slightly above those apples, blending the blush in place before bringing it down towards your apples, but not too heavily onto your apples. You don't want to bring the brush too close towards the center of your face because we want to maintain that lightness that we've created. I also like to bring the blush upwards onto my temples. This is to help give the appearance of a lifted face. And then going in with the excess setting powder from my setting brush, I'm going to buff this right in between the concealer and the blush to help create a seamless transition between the two. Also going in with this shade from the Juvia's Place Volume 4 blush palette, focusing this shade more so slightly below the corner of my eyes. And if you want more of that blush look, feel free to inch the blush upwards and slightly underneath your eyes. Since I won't be doing any eyeshadow today, I'll instead be going in with bronzer on the lid. To help warm it up, I'll be doing a little bit of eye contouring where I go in with the same bronzer I used earlier to create a very subtle wing, warming up this divot in my eye before bringing the product towards my crease, downwards, and then connecting it back to that wing. But on days where I'm really not trying to do too much, on a fluffy brush, you're just going to apply the bronzer in sweeping motions into your crease. I'm gonna wrap up my lids by going in with Fenty Beauty Diamond Balm and How Many Carat. Lately, I've been loving this hack that I got from Jackie Aina, where she doesn't just apply shimmer to her lids, she brings it all the way up and underneath her brow bone. It makes for such a subtle but beautiful touch to the eyes to almost give your eye that wet or dewy appearance. Now going in with the mascara to complete the eye, I'll be going in with One Size Fantasize Mascara. And when I tell you this stuff, girl, this stuff is good. If you have teeny tiny lashes that are also super prone to clumping, this mascara is the truth because it generously coats the lashes, while the design of the brush, which almost has teeny tiny combs built inside, helps to separate the lashes to prevent it from clumping. I'll also be going in with brown mascara on my bottom lashes. This is YSL's Lash Clash in the shade number 2. And when I tell you there is nothing that has been as transformative to my routine lately as adding brown mascara to my bottom lashes. Makeup Shayla, I love her so much. She's like the queen of a smoky eye, which includes adding brown mascara to your bottom lashes. But every single time I would try to achieve the looks that she would do, the look was ruined. Every single time I would end up smudging it or just using way too much, or I'd go in with such a light hand out of fear. I like how with brown, you're able to coat my lashes generously without leaving them looking overly apparent or strong. Moving on to highlighter, I'll be going in with the Black Radiance Artisan Color Baked Bronzer. This is in the shade Rose Gold, and with the same brush that I used to blush, I'm going to apply the highlighter starting slightly below the corner of my eye before bringing it up and underneath the brows, and then slightly below where I initially applied, ever so slightly onto the apples of my cheeks. The goal is to concentrate the product directly in this spot right here below the corner of my eyes. Going in with a fluffy brush like this prevents the highlighter from looking like a stripe on your face, as opposed to looking more blown out and natural. With the excess on the brush, I'm going to apply it on my cupid's bow, on my chin. I'm going to place it on the bridge of my nose and at the tip of my nose. Moving on to my lips. Lately I've been going in with a eyeshadow stick as opposed to a lip liner to line my lip. This is the Citizen Cosmetic Eye Elements eyeshadow stick in their Deep Earth Duo, and with the dark brown side I'm going to use it to align my lips. The application takes 2 seconds. I love it. And then over top I'll be going in with YSL's Rogue Lip Shine in the shade 150. I am not the happiest about liking this lip shine too much because it's YSL, it's expensive. I'm grateful to have gotten it in PR, but when it's time to repurchase, oof, that's when it gets scary. So over top, I'll be going in with a light pink lip gloss. This is the Kaleidos Untamed Glow Glossy Lip Glaze in the shade, it's either Pink Marquise or Pink Marquise. The very last step is to go in with a setting spray. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter. This stuff is also tried, tested, tried and true. You cannot go wrong with the setting spray. So that concludes this entire look. I really do hope it was simple enough for you guys to follow and that you learned some tips and tricks along the way to help simplify your everyday makeup routine. Let me know down below any questions, comments, or concerns, or any step in this process that you would like me to clarify. But also comment down below suggesting videos that you'd like to see next. Be sure to like and subscribe. And until next time, bye guys.